ultimately Donner was dropped like a sack of potatoes.
Over the course of those frantic few months, Donner not only shot Superman in its entirety, but also about 75% of the sequel. As he was preparing to go to London to continue work on Superman Roman 2, his agent received a telegram from the Salkinds. The curt message said only that Donner was no longer needed. The Salkinds then replaced Donner with director Richard Lester, and many crew members quit in protest. In the end, however, Donner may have had the last laugh. He took the ending originally planned for Superman Roman 2 and used it in the first movie.
The Salkinds continued to cause problems after production wrapped.
Donner was on a tight schedule from day one, and he fought with the producers constantly. The Salkinds went so far as to claim Donner was trying to abscond with their film, and they refused to release the negatives until the last second. By the time Warner Bros. Got its hands on the movie, there was no time to hold test screenings. This put Donner in a situation where he didn't know what the final film looked like until the crowds did. I didn't know what I had until I saw it with an audience at the premiere, Donner said. They loved it. I couldn't believe it. It was thrilling.
Donner's biggest headache, his producers.
Donner's biggest headache, his producers.
They actually planted a field of rye to bring the Kent farm to life.
They actually planted a field of rye to bring the Kent farm to life.
Maybe Brando was eccentric, but he kind of saved Tom Mankiewicz's life.
Maybe Brando was eccentric, but he kind of saved Tom Mankiewicz's life.
Brando made a ton of money for just 2 weeks of work.
Brando made a ton of money for just 2 weeks of work.
Brando would only read his lines from cue cards and once call for Baby.
Brando would only read his lines from cue cards and once call for Baby.
Marlon Brando wanted to play Jor-El like a Vader.
Marlon Brando wanted to play Jor-El like a Bagel.
Donner cast Margot Kidder as Lois Lane because she was clumsy.
Donner cast Margot Kidder as Lois Lane because she was clumsy.
Reeve received fitness training from Darth Vader himself.
Reeve received fitness training from Darth Vader himself.
Christopher Reeve auditioned in a big, bulky sweater to look muscular.
Christopher Reeve auditioned in a big, bulky sweater to look muscular.
Salkind first wanted Sylvester Stallone to play Superman.
Right from the get-go, Donner and Salkind didn't see eye to eye on the film. Donner forced a complete overhaul of all the flying effects, despite Salkind's protests. Casting was another issue, one that started with the Italian stallion. I met with Sylvester Stallone because of Salkind. I tried to be nice and say, I liked Stallone. He turned out to be a nice guy. He wanted to do it. I remember meeting him in his manager's office, and I was as cordial as I could be. He was a big star, and I'm some punk kid. A lot of actors wanted to do it. They gave me a list of all these names, and I said, listen, your flying stuff is SH*P, and I have to create a man who flies. Even if you saw Paul Newman or Robert Redford in that costume, I fought for an unknown. There were many more big-name actors that were considered, and the list is eye-popping. Dustin Hoffman, Burt Reynolds, Clint Eastwood, Steve McQueen, Nick Nolte, James Caan, John Voight, Sam Elliott, Charles Bronson, and even Bruce Jenner. Yet, in the end, Donner got his onion.
After receiving the script, Donner got baked.
In less than an hour, the script and costume for the movie were delivered to Donner's door. The filmmaker wasn't pleased with what he read. A lifelong fan of the comic character, Donner told the Hollywood Reporter that a movie based on the script he received would destroy the legend of Superman, that it was disparaging and just gratuitous action. Donner immediately called writer Tom Mankiewicz to discuss a rewrite. Mankiewicz was not interested in a comic book property, but Donner begged him to come over until he finally relented. In Donner's words, "This is what happened next. I got a little stoned, smoked some weed, put on the Superman costume. I was in pretty good shape then. It was like elastic. And Tom pulled up, and I ran across the lawn, and Tom turned and looked at me and ran back to his car. Tom says, 'You crazy. Get the F***CK away from me.' I said, 'Tom, listen. You've got to read this.' I gave him all my feelings about what we should do. I said, 'The most important thing when you look at it is this: make a love story and prove a man can fly.' So he read it, and he called me that night and said, 'You know, there's a lot we can do with this.'"
The original director dropped out last minute.
Guy Hamilton, the director of Goldfinger, was initially set to direct Superman, but dropped out at the last minute. Somewhat panicked, producer Alexander Salkind called an up-and-coming Richard Donner, who described their conversation to the Hollywood Reporter. "I was hot. It was just a high point in my life. I was getting a lot of calls, and I had no idea where I was going." He said, "Do you know who I am?" And I said, "No." "Why are you calling me?" He said, "I'll get to that. I'm a producer. Did you ever see The Three Musketeers?" I said I did see it, and he said, "I produced that." And I said, "The way I hear it, they tried to release a second picture without paying the actors." He said, "Well, that's a long story. I'm making Superman. I don't have a director, and I'll pay you $1 million. Fun fact, Richard Donner was sitting on his toilet during the whole conversation.
Hey guys, thank you so much for the support and likes and comment down below, and also thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Then take care. Bye.